For our next tip, I want to show you how I prepare my greens. After a year and a half of trying to pre-bag and pre-measure, I finally gave up and found out this is a lot easier. And this is what I do. I've got a great big long towel, which you wouldn't have to have a long one if you use several short ones. And I just wash all my greens and pile them all up on my pan like that. Looks like I only have red right now, but I normally have all my greens on here. I have the romaine, the green, the chard. Well, here's my chard. I used up my beet greens earlier. Green leaf. I've got green pepper and my red cabbage in here. And when it's time for me to do a juice, it's so easy for me just to open up, take out what I need, and put it in my juicer, and I'm ready to go. And that's just, it just doesn't get any easier than that, to have it all ready for me to do this, you know, and not worry about the bags and stuff. And I don't even have them in a plastic bag. I've got them just in this nice linen towel. But not only is it handy for my drinks, it's also handy for my salads. All I have to do is open it up, grab out some greens, and I'm ready to go with my salad too. And I found, you know, maybe having the greens pre-packaged was good, but having all of them ready was even better. It made it easier, not only for my juices, but it also made it easier for my salads. So maybe that'll work for you. Now, and here's one more thing. I wet my towel with the distilled water before I put this away, or before I wrap it up, because that damp towel does a really nice job of keeping them from drying out and keeping them crisp, and they don't get funny either like they do in a plastic bag. You know, sometimes they would get kind of limp and gross in the plastic bags, and I find they get just enough breathable air, but they get the moisture from the towel. And if the towel dries out, I just re-wet it again. So I hope that helps you. Thanks. Okay, next tip is about your carrot juices, your carrot apple juices. We can make some carrot apple juices up ahead of time, and you're allowed to hold them for 2 hours, which means if you make 3 carrot apple juices at one time, then you can drink one right away, and you can have one in an hour, and you can have another one in 2 hours, which gives you 3 carrot juices in 2 hours. So that's going to be a little tip, you know, maybe shuffle around the schedule a little bit in the book so that you can have the 3 carrot apple juices in a row. And that especially runs in to be, helps you if you don't have to get to your juicer all the time to keep making juices. And it also is nice to have that reprieve if you have to leave the house. You know that you can take your carrot juice with you and have that with you. That's it. Tip number 3, have a thermos, or 2 or 3 or 4. I've had this thermos for over 25 years, and it's still going strong. It's a stainless steel, and it's called the Aladdin Stanley thermos. This is one I got from my daughter-in-law for Christmas, and it's called Corksicle. And it's, you know, this one keeps things really hot, which has been nice. I've tried using it for over 24 hours. It works well. This is a nice little one. I got this as a gift from my mother, and she got it from LL Bean. And this keeps things really hot too. It's been very nice. This one is the Thermos brand thermos, and all these thermoses are stainless steel inside, which is important. And they come in really handy. You might be thinking, well, what do you use them for? I use them for a variety of things. I can use them for my coffee solution. If I'm going to be away from home and I got to do things when I'm away from home, I can keep my coffee solution the temperature I need it in one of these large ones. When I go to work, I put my Hippocrates soup in hot, very hot, you know, get it right up to simmering again, put it in there, and then by the time it's my lunchtime, I can take, when I pack to go to work, I'll pack like a diced up potato, maybe my awesome sauce, maybe a leftover vegetable from the night before, and I don't want to use a microwave. I pour my piping hot Hippocrates soup into the bowl with my potato and that leftover vegetable, and that heats it up, and it's like having soup. So I've got a soup with the potato and vegetable in it that is a good temperature to eat, and I didn't have to, you know, use a microwave for that, or, you know, find a way to heat it. So all these have come really handy for me to put my Hippocrates soup in, to put coffee solution in, you know, to carry. And I just thought that would be helpful to you to know that you can use it in different ways. You know, especially for heating up your food when you're away from home. And you know what? I've even used it at home. In the morning, I'll go to heat up my Hippocrates soup, and I'll heat up the amount that I want for the whole day, which for me is at least 3 cups, sometimes 4. And I'll put, you know, half into my cup and put the rest of it into my thermos, and I don't have to heat it up later. I've got it, and if I have to leave the house, I can just grab my thermos to go with me. It just makes the day go a little easier. That's it for that tip.